If you're under 25 years old, which is the alleged year until you can grow taller for males, I know you're praying for a few extra inches on your height. If you're 5'3", you think that life would be easier if you were 5'7". If you're 5'7", you're praying to be 5'10". If you're 5'10", you think life would be so much better at 6 foot. I was a prisoner of this thinking too. But I thought about this now and I see that this is a black hole. You're stripping yourself of confidence and happiness by thinking you'd accept yourself a few inches taller. Don't make a mistake. Height is absolutely an important part of life. And some people live on easier modes. But unless you grew to 6'5", you'd always wish to be a few inches taller. Aiden Ross says he's 5'9", 5'10". This guy psychoanalyzed it and appears to be 5'8" at best, if not 5'7.5". Let's start with this assumption. That confirms when we take a look at him next to Ski Mask, who is allegedly 5'7". But now let's take a look at this dude Bilu. He also appears to be the same height as Ski Mask, but he's listed as 5'9". His best buddy is Zias, who is allegedly 6 foot, but if Bilu is 5'7", he's at 5'10" at best. KSI increases his height to 6 foot, but he's actually 5'10", maybe 5'10.5", which makes his best buddy Logan Paul about 6'1" at best, and he claims 6'2". You get my point. You don't even need to know these guys, but basically every single one of them lies and increases their height. Even a 6'1" guy is not comfortable about his height and is increasing it for some reason. As a joke? Yeah, right. This just tells you that you don't need these few inches that you're craving for so much. You wouldn't be much happier. You'd want more. You let the internet get into your mind. Let's do something that actually helps you and that you can control. If you've seen some of my videos, you would have heard this quote of mine. One thing that is more important than height, I'd say, and that would make you a more valuable man than someone who is 5 inches taller than you. Have you ever asked yourself why is height so valued? And we're talking about your attractiveness. Let's not lie, if there were only men running around this planet, you wouldn't care about your freaking height. From the ancient times, it appears that mostly taller men and women were preferred, as we are at our tallest we've ever been, meaning taller genetics were probably favorized, and shorter people died and never reproduced. But there are also shorter people who managed to reproduce, and they made me anew. Now, this is pure speculation, and it wouldn't have to be necessarily linked to what I have to say. But listen up, women stayed with men with whom they felt safe and protected. Now obviously taller guys have a better chance of protecting them, therefore they choose them, but short genes are still in rotation obviously. So these short men were still able to make these women feel safe. They were confident. They either knew that they were capable of protecting them or were extremely delusional and got lucky that nobody killed them in the process. That leads to my point. They most likely knew how to fight well. And lucky enough, this part of your life is what you can improve. Regardless of everything. Yeah, height matters in fighting, whatever. You can still develop better fighting skills than 90% of other men. And isn't it enough? You'll be more confident. You'll know how to de-escalate fights and avoid them. Knowing how to fight would actually mean you will be in less fights and over less scared if one actually happens. That's the true power you now lack. And this partly has to do with your height. But if you worked on it for a while, you'd actually forget how tall you are. Don't lie to yourself, this is BS. You can learn martial arts from home. Whatever program you buy from whatever respected guy in the field, you'll not gain the fundamental benefit of martial arts, and that is running through fear. That's what makes you confident. If you start practicing on a bag at home, without ever being hit by somebody else, you will not learn anything. You'll just become a cocky ass who will want to fight everybody who looks at you in a weird way, and you'll create more problems for yourself and others. The crucial benefit of martial arts is actually learning to live with this fear that somebody could destroy you and that you're okay with it. Be honest, if I convince you that martial arts is the way to go, now you want to be so good at it that you never get hit and you only deal hits. Nah, this is not how it works, friend. You won't be able to dodge everything. Who is a stronger person? Someone who can deal a hard hit or someone who eats hits like they're nothing? Think about it. Apart from that, you also get the benefit of someone who has had decades of experience improve your form, and you actually have accountability partners that will make sure you practice this art consistently and be able to compete with them. See who is improving the most, like a game. Who's getting better faster. Martial Arts Gym needs to be thanking me for this promotion if this gets more than 20 views. The core basis is you can practice this art by yourself, but that's if you already know the fundamentals as well as regularly spar with people who will actually simulate, to a certain extent, how a real fight would look like. When it comes to which martial arts to choose, you can go watch on YouTube some tier lists and how all of them look like, but basically you'd like to come to a point where you master a striking martial art as well as a grappling one, and that you're capable of doing both. A boxer is no different than a regular Joe when you put him down on the floor. Most importantly, whichever martial arts you choose, you gotta enjoy it. There's no point in forcing yourself to do a particular one, and there will always be that one you like. I know this video took a slight turn, but I guided you where you needed to go. We know most men lie about their height and want to be taller. This tells you that an inch or two wouldn't help you that much. I told you why that height you want is actually important, and I gave you a realistic, actionable step, what you could do instead of watching the same guys blab about what they did to increase their height, even though it was in their genetics mostly. You can grow outside of your code, so stick with me and trust me, it will change your life. I'll be trying out some techniques people recommend for increasing height, and we'll make a video on it if it works, so you know what actually works, instead of just talking about anecdotes and people seeing dragons. See you in the next video.